very special playthrough of the classic Heroquest, the Rescue of Sir Ragnar. As we know, Sir Ragnar is one of the king's most powerful knights and he's been captured, and we as the heroes need to free him from Ulag, the Orc warlord's grasps. As many of you know, I use a combination of the Advanced Heroquest rules alongside the Heroquest combat specifically, but I just wanted to play one of the classic quests, so I will set it up with using the Advanced Heroquest tiles, but demonstrating the combat system and how the two systems meld. So here's my little collection of characters. I've got the Knight, the Berserker, the Elf and the Druid. I've not used this combination before. They're from the various expansions. So the Knight, who I'm going to call Max, the Berserker, who I'm going to call Shrek. We have Daith, who is my elf, and he doesn't have a shield as the picture, but he has the elf skills, or the spells should I say. And then lastly I have got Randolph, who's my druid. All of these characters come with, well, the elf has spells, the druid has spells, but the berserker and the knight both have a set of skill cards which I've laid out here. Yeah, so this will be interesting to see where they're utilised, and if I remember to actually use them, because I'm not used to it really. I'm also going to be using from Crooked Staff some cards to reveal dungeon tiles, so this takes away the need for rolling. I'll put a link in the description, but essentially there's two sets of cards, passageways and room cards, and basically you pull a card and it tells you what to put in, and then you roll a dice for things like doors and the dead ends and things like that. The room cards have got special rooms, which is effectively hazard rooms, empty rooms, which is just the usual normal room, and then monster rooms, which are the lairs. And then the rules are, if you get 3 of either the monster room or the special rooms, then you generate a quest room. So yeah, I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. And then there's also some tiles that come, some tokens which come with the set, and effectively these replace the counters for Advanced Heroquest. So you've got monster ones, trap ones, the X's mean nothing, and then the R1 means that you put all the tiles back in the bag and start pulling, and effectively if you get 3 of the types of tiles, then you generate whatever it is. So 3 M's would be a wandering monster group. 3 traps would mean that you generate a trap. So yeah, so I'm hoping just to mix it up with this combination of cards and tiles and just see, you know, it gets rid of some of the dice rolling. So that's always fun. So our adventurers are in their starting positions. As per usual, the exploration phase has 12 movement, which always brings them to the end of that first corridor, and then we will start seeing what's down each of the passageways. So I pull this, and as you can see there's 2 sections, and then a T-junction at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'll lay it out and then I'll do the roll to see how many doors there may be. So yeah, it's just the same system as the rolling, but it's just nice to pull cards, I find. Too many dice rolls and I sort of get a bit lost, and I think there's enough with the combat dice really in terms of rolling. Well, he says that and he's going to roll a dice. So let's see how many doors there are. So I've rolled a 6, which actually is not, it's just nothing. There is no doors, but you also draw a token. So this adds an extra token to the Zargon turn. So I've pulled a trap. So 2 more of those and then it will trigger a trap. So the other side of the passageway, yeah, so a shorter one, so just 1 section and then a right hand turn. So I've laid those out, and now I'm going to roll roll for doors, and I'll get a 5, which is actually 2 doors. So I'm going to put those out and start exploring, I think. Yeah, I like the randomness. I know it's the Sir Ragnar case, but quest, but I like the randomisation, because this dungeon could get massive or it could stay quite small, really. Though the 3-room making a quest room does mean it will be, you know, it will draw to a conclusion. So I'm going to go and explore these first rooms with Max and Daith leading the vanguard. So now I pull from the room deck, and in this case it's a special room. So like I say, this means it's a hazard room. So I will roll to see for doors, and again there's 2 extra doors coming out of the room. Now what I've done is, again, I've created some hazard cards. So I've taken the hazards from the enhanced Advanced Heroquest, and I've used the Heroquest card generator that's online, and I've created the hazard cards, which means I've sort of copied and pasted from the PDF, or I've written out the descriptions, and again it's just to take away the dice roll, not so many tables, and to pull a card instead. So in this case I've got the magic circle. And I'll dig out the original token from the original game, and Max will lead the heroes in and see what the magic circle has to bring them. So I roll a dice, a d12 in this occasion, and we've got a 2. So the 2 is summoning. A group of wandering monsters is summoned by the magic circle. The monsters are rolled up on the wandering monsters, and they're placed within unoccupied squares within line of sight of the heroes. And the heroes are surprised because the monsters sort of just appear out of nowhere. So I'm going to roll on the wandering monsters matrix and see what the magic circle brings up. Oh, a 1. Well, hopefully this will be manageable. So that's just 2 orcs that appear. I did it slightly wrong. I should have put them perhaps in the room, but I forgot that bit. So anyway, but they're right outside the door and they get to act first, so I don't think it'll make a huge difference. So the orc is going to take on Max, and we're going to get our first combat. Again, this is where I switch to the HeroQuest system. So the orc rolls with 3 dice, and he gets 2 hits. Now Max is a knight, so he does have a shield. So he gets to reply, to try and defend with 3 combat dice. And he gets nothing. He gets 3 skulls. So Max's shield is clearly made out of paper. So he's already taken 2 hits. That's a bit of a harsh blow to begin with. I'm just going to check these cards and see what they are. So this is one which I can sort of defend a comrade. I've then got this stalwart one which basically avoids death. Just means that if I'm going to die, then I can sort of avoid that. So nothing to use at the moment. So the second orc is going to come in and pile in on Max. I remember I used the death zones from Advanced Heroquest, so the orc couldn't move past him really. And this orc gets 2 hits again. Oh, the orcs have had their Weetabix this morning. They're rolling good. So Max again is going to reply, and in this case he defends 1, but that is another hit that he takes. So Max is having a bit of a pounding to begin with. So I take the counter, and it's another X, which just again means nothing. We move on. So now it's the hero's turn. So Max is going to take a swipe back at one of the orcs, and he rolls 2, and he gets a skull, so that's a hit. So the orcs only defend on a 2. So let's see if Max can start knocking them down, and of course they need the black shields, which this is not, so the orc is taken down. So that's Max's turn. So now I've got Shrek. And Shrek moves. Obviously the combat, we have the dice roll from Heroquest for the combat turn. So yeah, he's able to move across the room, and he's got an attack dice with 3. He's got a broadsword. My model's got a big axe, but I figure they're roughly the same. I think a berserker should have an axe. So yeah, he gets 1 hit with his axe. He clearly hasn't had his Weetabix. Let's see if the orc defends, but he doesn't. The orc doesn't get a black shield, which means that Shrek gets his first kill of the day. So thankfully, with only 2 orcs, that hazard wasn't too bad. Now what I'll do is just roll for the treasure table. So I'm going to roll a couple of d12s just to see how much gold they generate. So in this case it's just 5 gold for one of the orcs, and then I will roll again just to see if maybe I can get something from the other, which I'll get a 9. So that's 15 gold, so 20 gold in total. Not a bad start. Might buy me an ale when I get back to the tavern. So now that that's done, I can decide where I'm going next. So again, I've got 2 doors to go through. I think Max is going to lead them on. His nose, you can smell Sir Ragnar's aftershave, and he's decided to go here. Now obviously coming out of rooms, you roll a d12, and an odd number gets you a room, and an even number gets you a passageway. So we've pulled another room. On this occasion it's a monster room, so that's the lair. So they're the 2, so they're the bigger rooms, the 10 by 5. As anyone who's watched my videos before will know that I put sort of 2 of the room tiles together to make that. And again, I've rolled and we've got 2 extra doors. So we've got quite a compact little dungeon, but lots of doors that haven't been opened yet. So now I'm going to roll on the layers matrix to populate. And on this occasion I roll a 3, which when I look at it I think gets me 3 orcs and 4 goblins. So I'm going to set up those. I've put furniture in just to kind of broaden it out. It gives a tactical advantage to everyone. And now I'm going to roll for initiative for the combat. Again, my system, I look at who's got the highest mind points within the group. So the orcs have got 2 minds, so they get a +2 to the roll. And then the druid and the elf both have mind points of 4, so they get +4. And then I just do an opposing die roll. The blue are the heroes, and the red is for the monsters. So on this occasion, the monsters roll good. They really have had their Weetabix, and they get a 12. So plus for the 2 is 14. Where obviously the 4 plus the 4 is just 8. So the monsters have initiative and they get to go first. As with my cards, I've prioritised, so the orcs are all going to go first, and then the goblins. I've do the double doorway, so the orc can he gets locked down by the elf by being in the opposing doorway. So he's going to give the elf a whack, and he is unsuccessful. He takes a chunk out of the door frame. Second orc is going to come along and take a pop at the knight, and he gets 2 skulls, so that's 2 potential hits. And the knight, Max, is going to defend with his shield, and he gets 1. So yet again he takes another chunk. His shield really isn't quite what one would want it to be. I could do with some healing potions, but I don't have any. So the goblins, I tend not to just stack all the enemies up. I like to have a bit more tactical, but not think about it too much. But I just put layers in, because the heroes will have to move through the room anyway. I draw another counter and it's another X, so nothing happens. So yeah, so now it's the hero's turn, and again I'll start with Max, who he can't go anywhere, so he's just going to take a chunk and see if he can skewer an orc. So he gets 1 hit. The orc defends with 2, and he gets nothing, so that's 1 orc out of the way. Now I'm actually going to have a little look about what powers we've got. I've just realised actually that the elf and the berserker skills and spells are in the wrong order, so I'm just shuffling them around and moving them about. So I'm just having a look at the elf skills to see if they've got anything of use, but yeah, nothing in this instance. So yeah, I'm just a bit worried that Max he's not doing too well. So anyway, I'm going to have Max move, so obviously he can move into the room when he stops, so that's why I didn't roll the dice, because he's just going to move 1 because he stops to be in the death zone of the orc. And now Daith is having a go, but he misses, and he's just going to move because I'm going to move him out the doorway to give Shrek a bit of a chance to come and give the orc a bit of a knock. So this is Shrek. I don't need to really roll because he's just going to move into the doorway. And I'm just checking to see what his cards. So this is like an enrage, so he loses body points in order to do a bigger attack, but I don't think I'm going to use that right now. That seems excessive against 1 orc. He's also got one when he starts getting losing, he can make a sort of swipe attack, which takes out several, but he has to be low on health. And then there's a retaliation where if he gets hit, he can, if he's got 5 or less health, he can hit back. So he's just going to do a regular attack in this occasion. So again, he perhaps hasn't sharpened his axe because he just gets 1 hit, but the orc doesn't defend, so that's the next orc out of the way. Thankfully, the orcs aren't rolling too well, so even though my heroes aren't doing the greatest, they're chomping through them. So I'm just looking at the druid's skills. So he's got this shapeshift, which sort of makes him a bit tougher, and gives him a bit better defense. But I feel like this may be the wrong time to use that up. However, I do see that he's got a heal, so he's going to use this on Max, I think, because you know, it may be a bit premature because I think it's the only real heal we've got. But I need Max to be, you know, a good health. So I'm bringing him back to 6 health points. Right. So, yeah. So Randolph has healed up Max, yeah, that's his turn really. So I pull a counter, another X. There's not much going on in that dungeon, not many traps or wandering monsters clearly. So now it's the monster's turn, so the orc has priority, goblin goes second, so there's just 1 orc left actually, so he's going to move into contact. Now he can fight either Max or Shrek, but seeing that Max has stumbled into the room, I think the orc quite obviously would go for him. So he hits with 2 skulls. Is Max actually going to be able to defend now? Or yes, he does. So that's good. So finally, Max's shield has decided to work. But he's going to need it now because the goblins are going to come in and stabby. So the goblin rolls for 2 and gets no hits. So Max lives on another day. So the goblins are going to come in, apart from this last one who's he's clearly defending his chocolate supply in that back room. So yeah, so again, like I say, the terrain I put in does block things, but it blocks mutually. So I've done a bit of an error here, because I rolled 3 dice for Max, his attack, and he doesn't get 3 dice. Perhaps he was so overcome by living the last round. So this orc did actually die unceremoniously and cheaply, because I rolled an extra dice. Yeah, an error on my part. Anyway, that frees up Shrek to walk in, and he can take a pop shot at the goblin. Hopefully this will be of ease, and yes, he gets 2 skulls, which means I don't even need to roll for the goblin, who's only got a defense die of 1. So now I'm clearing the room quite nicely, and it allows the other heroes to come in. Daith sort of slowly lumbers in to take on one of these goblins. He attacks with 2 and gets a hit. See if the goblin defends. Oh no, so that's another goblin down. Green skins littering the floor. And then lastly, Randolph's going to come in, again, he's got an attack of 1, so he's only got a dagger, much like the wizard. But he's going to go and try and intimidate this goblin and say, "I'm coming for your chocolate. Get out of the way." Probably a bit stupid to sort of move him close enough, but not. But he has got a defense of 2, so you never know. Anyway, this goblin's going to attack first. He's going to attack Max, and he gets 2 skulls. He's clearly sharpened his little sword, and Max doesn't defend. Oh, Max, you're going to have to, if you survive this, you're going to have to buy some new armour and a new shield, I think, because you're not that tough. Anyway, the goblin, he's going to come up for Randolph, but he rolls just 2 shields, so he gets nothing. So that's the monster's turn. We pull another counter, and on this occasion it's a monster, so again 2 more of these, and then I get a wandering monster event. Let's see if I can finish up these goblins now on this turn. So Max, feeling a bit battered and bruised, but he's going to give it a go, and he rolls 3 skulls, so again that's an automatic kill on the goblin. I can't defend against that. And then I'm gonna maybe move Shrek up. However, I roll poorly. Oh, actually no, Max is gonna take a treasure card. Now whether he should or not, I don't know, because there's a monster in the room. But anyway, I've pulled the card, and he pulls a poison, and of course Max, being Max, just necks it, doesn't consider whether he should. So if he gets a skull, that's another health point that he's going to lose. But thankfully someone up there is watching over him, because he gets a black shield, which means that it's clearly just goblin juice, harmless. Yeah, Max, you really need to learn not to drink unidentified liquids, please. So Shrek, I roll the dice, but yeah, I don't get a very good roll, and this is me trying to figure out whether I can get into contact with that goblin in any way, but I can't. So I'm just going to leave Shrek to move up behind Randolph and just sort of growl a bit. Maybe it'll scare the goblin, and I pull a treasure card. And in this instance, I get a potion of magic resistance. I don't think there's any enemies with a dread spell, so I don't think it's really going to work on this, but you know, it's good to take on to the next adventure. Anyway, Daith is going to move and try and threaten this last goblin. moves into his death zone, and let's see if he can polish him off. He gets 1 hit, and the goblin defends with 1 and doesn't, so yeah, Dave takes out the last goblin. So that's it, the first monster lair room is covered. So I'm going to roll on the various tables. I'm also going to roll on the treasure table and see, because I didn't put the chest out, but there should be a chest in. So all in all I just got gold, so I moved up from 20 to 155, which is not bad going. There's some good rolls, so definitely could start buying items if once we're out of here. So I roll an even, which means that out of sight of a room, that means it's a passageway, so I'll pull one of the passageway cards. And in this case it's replenished the deck, so I think both rooms and passages have the replenish, and it just means that it's a reshuffle. So on this occasion it's 2 and then a right hand turn, so I'm going to roll, see how many doors there are, and there is 1 door. So again, an obvious place for the heroes to go. So I've got a right hand turn, 2 doors. I've got this door over here. So I'm going to maybe poke my head in. Though I don't really want to get further, because obviously when I find Sir Ragnar I've got to get back to the entrance with him. So going off into the dungeon seems a bit crazy. I've pulled 1 special room and 1 monster room, so I need 2 more of each in order to get to the quest room. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to go further. But yeah, I mean, looking at the book, obviously I could try and utilise some of these story aspects from the Sir Ragnar, but I've decided that actually Advanced Heroquest creates sort of the additional stuff. So in this case, the first quest room I get, I'm going to just make it where Sir Ragnar's being kept. There are other quests where you can have various quest rooms, because the cards, effectively each time you pull each different type of card, you can generate different quest rooms. So anyway, I've decided that I'm going to backtrack. So before I get too deep into the dungeon, I'm going to go and find out what this room has to offer. So I'm going to pull a token and see what I get. That's a blank. I mean, you can put stuff on it or use it for something, but that's some blank tokens that came with the set. So actually I've got the R, which is replenish. So what that does is clear the board. It means that any that have already been starting adding up, you get rid of. You give it a shake, and then yeah, next turn I'll be taking in a fresh tile. So I roll a 5. I shouldn't have actually. Yeah, no, it was a room. So I've rolled another monster room. So 5 is another room. So that's my second layer that I found. I roll a 2, which just is 1 extra door out of it. Setting it up, I've made this a bit more of a kind of cosy hearth, and let's see what orcs are enjoying the fire and the big comfy chair. So I roll an 8, which is actually 3 orc champions. So clearly this is the equivalent of a country club for the orcs, where only the posh ones can, and sort of the heroes can enjoy themselves, not for the likes of goblins and normal orcs. So I roll the initiative, and the heroes get it because they've got the superior mind, and they rolled higher anyway. So I'm going to move Max in, who's going to engage straight away one of the champions. Now the champions are tougher, they hit harder and they defend with more. Max, who's only got a roll of 2, but he rolls 2 skulls, which is good. And the orc defends with nothing, so actually he has 2 body points, the champion, but on this occasion he gets taken straight out. Max is finally showing his quality. Shrek is going to come charging in with his, well, charging slowly, with his axe high. Let's see if he can take out the second champion. He gets 2 hits, so it's not bad. Oh, he seems to be warming up now. But the orc defends 1. He's got 2 body points, which means he just takes 1 wound. Close Shrek, but no cigar. Daith now is going to come in, see what he can do. He's going to come in and tackle the champion further down the hall. He might have done better to help Shrek out, but he rolls 2, very respectable. Let's see if the orc champion can defend any of these, and he defends both. 2 black shields, so this orc champion isn't going to go down as easy as his buddy. So this is where the druid, again, do I use the shapeshift? This is the second monster room, so the next one will be the quest room, but I don't know, we'll see. Just to say, with the generation of the quest room, obviously the cards, I think they say after 3. I wanted my playthrough to just be a bit shorter because I wanted to manage it in an afternoon. So I've set it at the 3rd room, but you can set it any limit you want really, if you want longer quests. So yeah, so I haven't used the shapeshift, but you know, Randolph is sat there and he's giving it a go with his dagger, but unfortunately on this occasion he didn't get the hit. So now it's the champion's turn, so he's going to take a swipe at Shrek, and he gets 2 hits. Shrek has a defense of 2, oh, actually no, the orc champion gets a 4th dice, so I rolled it, so actually he gets 3 hits, and I didn't defend any, so those 3 hits start count. Yeah, I forgot that the champion has an extra dice. So this champion against Daith, and he gets 2 hits, and again no defense. My guys really, they're alright in attack, but defense not so much. So I pull another tile and we have a monster tile, so 2 more of those and we get a wandering monster come through. Max now is going to come and attack. He's going to support Daith. Let's see if he can get rid of this champion. He gets a hit. The champion defends with 3, but he doesn't defend any. So I just apply another wound marker for the 1 hit that he's taken. Shrek's turn now, so let's see if he can cleave his way through this champion. He gets 2 hits, so the champion defends with 3, but he needs black shields and he only gets 1, so that second body point is lost and he goes down. Daith, let's see if he can finish off this orc. He gets 2 hits, that's a good start. And 2 defences though, this champion really is. He's clearly, you know, he's Neo from the Matrix, or the orc equivalent. He's dodging everything out of the way. I'm just looking now, and I think Randolph is going to use his second card, which is a pixie, which either shows traps and secret doors, or you can use it to health. So we're just going to boost Dave's health back up, just in case he takes a pummeling from this orc champion, who rolls 3 skulls. So perhaps it was a good idea that I boosted his health. And Dave repels 1, but that means 2 hits goes through. And so yeah, he's just lost the 2 that he gained, but hey ho, that's the way it works. But that does mean I've got no healing anymore. So I pull the counter and it's nothing, so we've just got this 1 champion on 1 health. Max is going to give it a go. 2 hits, this should hopefully do it. And yes, the orc champion rolls nothing. So that's this monster lair room clear, and again I will do treasure and loot as well. So I'm going to roll on the treasure chest. Now I roll an 8, which gets me 10 feet of rope and 30 gold. I have actually made a rope card because I use it for the chasm hazard card. So yeah, I made it because it's part of Advanced Heroquest, and yeah, so I made that up. So yeah, that'd be quite fun if we get other hazard rooms and maybe the chasm shows up. But yeah, I'll add up the gold and see where we get to. So 230, not bad going. I feel, you know, we haven't found Sir Ragnar yet, and yet we're already, I think, getting what Prince Magnus is promising us. So you know, we get out of here, we're golden. So yeah, so obviously 1 special card, 2 monster cards. So the next monster card will generate the quest room, where another. There needs to be another 2 special rooms. They don't mix up. So I'm just checking to see, and yeah, the tiles, so nothing. So the heroes are gonna again see what happens. We've got a passageway. So the backs of this dungeon seems to be that it will sprawl off. Now I've got a left hand turning, but I can see everything turning in on itself. So I've actually decided, I think, I'm going to do a right hand turning. I mean, does it matter? Not really. It just means there's a turning one way, but I need the table to work for me. So I'm going to do a right hand turning, because otherwise all my rooms are going to kind of, and passages are going to link back in, which probably works out from an architecture point of view, but not for a dungeon crawling adventure. So I'm going to go the other way, and I'm just going to move my card case. I'll try and show this off one day, but it's all the cards that I've got. I bought a sort of trading card case to put them in. But yeah, I've still got a bit of room at the back of the table. Though again, I'm reaching that same point I did on the opposite side, is that I'm getting deeper and deeper into this dungeon. And like I say, with this particular quest, where I've got to bring Sir Ragnar back to the exit, or an exit if I find another one. So I'm just going to poke my head in this room and let's see what I find. So I've just pulled a tile because at the end of exploration, and the S actually is for secret doors. So again, if I get 3 of these, I can check for secret doors. I mean, I need to see whether I can declare it still or not, or just use that. Anyway, I pull an empty room, so there'll be nothing in here. Roll a 1, and there's no extra doors. So here is a dead end. Perhaps it's the broom closet, where they keep the how they keep the Orc Country Club tidy. So I'm just checking around, and I've just realised that there is a room that is right near the entrance that I haven't explored yet. And I like to think that I didn't just go on this exploring adventure only to miss a door, which could have been the quest room all along, but perhaps I've got a nagging feeling that that's the case. So I moved 12, pull a tile, and on this case I've got a trap, so I've got a trap, secret door and wandering monster all in the mix. So yeah, so if this is the quest room, I'm so tantalising close to the exit, it would be stupid of me not to go and explore this. So Max and Daith again, right in the vanguard. They're going to peer around this room and see what's in there. And it's the monster room. I had a gut feeling, you know. I mean, it could have been a special room, but then that would have been fine, because then I'd definitely, whatever room I'd pull next, really, apart from an empty, would have been the quest room. But yeah, no, so I've got a monster lair, which is not going to be, it's going to be a quest room. So this is where Sir Ragnar is going to be held. So I'm going to roll, see who's in there with him. Obviously there'll be Ulag, who's the you know, the big bad in this quest. So I roll at 1 Wolf Chief and 6 Orcs. So I'm just going to put 1 Ulag and 6 Orcs. And they've got Sir Ragnar up off the rack. They've been torturing him. And Ulag, who yeah, represented here, he's going to be the War Chief. Again, I made this card, and the special rule is that basically if he gets 3 skulls in attack, a goblin will spawn. So that can happen multiple times and just increases the occupancy of the room. And plus Ulag's quite strong, so I haven't used the stats in the quest. I've used this War Chief stats just to pump him up a bit. So initiative roll, the heroes get it because they've just got 1, with Randolph and Daith's mind being that much stronger. So Max is going to charge in. He's going to head for the nearest orc. This room could get choppy. Orcs aren't the strongest, but they hit big. But Max makes a good start, and the orc isn't able to defend, so that's 1 out of the way already. So next Shrek is going to come into the room. Let's see what he does. He rolls a 6, which should get him into contact. This is my counting. Much harder, you'd think. Someone who's nearly 50, he'd be able to count squares, but yeah, not so. So Shrek is going straight in. Now what I should have done is perhaps look at the frenzy card, but I didn't. I don't think. I looked at the enraged to see to use that, but I didn't want to take the hit points losses. I've ironically looked at the retaliation card, but in hindsight I should have used the frenzy because I had 2 enemies within the vicinity. I'm not sure if I could have used it actually, to be fair, because I think I had more than 3 hit points. So yeah, I think I've got 4, so I wouldn't have been able to use it anyway, but perhaps I knew that, but I don't think I did. I'm still just learning what these skills are, but anyway, I do a normal swing, or Shrek does a normal swing, and yeah, but the orc manages to deflect it. So Daith is going to come in. I'm just wondering how to utilise one of his spells. I've got this time stop, which I might use in this encounter. I was just thinking if I get close to Ulag with a hero, then perhaps we can sort of double up and give them an extra turn and perhaps take him out in one fell swoop. But I'm not going to use it yet. Yeah, because the positioning is I've got to not get locked into the wrong dead zone, so I've decided not to do that for Max. However, this double image is quite nice. You apply it to a hero, and it basically gives them a chance of not getting hit really. So on this occasion, I'm going to have Dave apply it to Max, as he's in the front row to get whacked. So it may just help Max not take any unnecessary damage as he gets swamped by the orcs. Dave's going to move into the room, but sort of just stay back. And then Randolph is going to come in, a bit cautiously it would seem. But I think I've decided to switch on beast mode. This is the final fight. I don't have a big bear or a werebear or something like this, so I'm using this beast man to approximate what Randolph might have looked like if he turned into a sort of chaos-driven cow. So yeah. So anyway, I'm going to shuffle the priority cards for the bads. I do this behind my back in a second, just to ensure. And there's only 2 cards, so it's 50-50 really. So the Wharf Chief goes first, then the Orcs follow, which, like any good leader, he charges from the front. So he's going to move into combat with Max. He's not having these pesky heroes come and disturb his Sir Ragnar torturing. So the War Chief gets 5 attack dice, so he's a bit of a beast in terms of his attacks, and he gets 2 skulls, so not as bad as it could have been. But given Max's defense prowess, and I'm just checking his cards, but I don't think any of them are really going to help out in this one. So I'm just going to do a normal roll. I hope I get something. I get 1 shield, which means 1 attack goes through. I had to check against the double image. So 1, 2, or 3, and it hits my double image, but of course it doesn't. So yeah, the hit goes through. But the spell remains because I can see monsters. It's not bad. It endures that spell, but it doesn't help Max on this occasion. So now the orcs all get to pile in, and pile in they do. Max is looking very vulnerable, so the orc's not going to stoop to get him. Max manages to defend though. Clearly, he's realised that he would be in trouble if he didn't. So Shrek's turn. Shrek managed to land a hit on one of the orcs. Let's see if the orc can defend it. Actually, no, it's the orc hitting, so actually scrub that. Sorry, there's so many dice rolls. I get confused. So no, that was the orc having a pop at Shrek, and this is where I decide to use my retaliation card. So the orc takes a pop at Shrek. Shrek takes a pop back. Let's see if the orc can defend that. It's quite a nice card that. It just gives that kind of counter strike back. Orc doesn't defend, so yeah, even though Shrek had to take a hit, he does get to claim an orc head in the process. So this orc's now attacking and gets 2 hits. Let's see if Shrek can do anything with it. He can't use the retaliation again, that's already been spent. But he manages. He's clearly pumped up, ready to rock and ready to dodge. So then we've got these other 2 orcs, and I'll sort of move one into the fray, maybe keep the other one lingering back in a second. This orc gets nothing, and then this orc is going to make sure that we've got a last stand defense, so that Sir Ragnar can't just escape. So I pull a tile and get nothing, and then we're back to the hero's turn. So Max now is going to take a pop at Ulag, see if he can take down the War Chief. he gets a hit. The war chief defends with 4, so he's got a good chance of repelling it. But he gets nothing, so he does take a hit. He's got 3 wounds, so 2 more hits and he's done. So I think with Shrek now, he does a big hit against that. I'm sure he won't be able to defend that. And he doesn't. So that's 1 more for Shrek's prowess to take down. Now Daith is going to move in and he's going to I think he's going to now use his time stop. So he's moved in, but rather than fight, he's going to put the time stop on to Max to give Max 1 more chance to take Ulag out. Max hits 2, so Ulag would need to defend at least 1 to stay, but he doesn't. So that is the war chief down. Good on you, Max. Well done. So, not bad going. Just a couple of orcs to wrap up. Randolph is going to come in. He's Beast Randolph. Let's see how he is. So he gets an extra attack and an extra defense. So that puts his attack to 2, his defend at 3. So it gives him a fair shot against an orc. So yeah, so he takes 1 out. First blood for Randolph. So we've just got these 2 orcs left. So one's going to pile in on Max. Gets 2 hits. See if Max can defend. And he does. Phew. Given the lack of healing, I'm very delighted with that. And then this second orc is going to come and look at Randolph. Try and figure out what he is. And whilst attacking, and he gets 2 hits. Now, like I say, Randolph gets to defend with 2, but he's got the shapeshift, so he gets 1 extra die. And yeah. But he doesn't defend on this occasion and loses 2 health. So I'm going to pull a counter. Oh no, I think here I'm just looking to see the shield block. It says the hero next to you takes damage. I'm just trying to work out whether I could have used the stalwart or not, because obviously next to an adjacent, I might look online, or I might just make a decision either way, but I didn't use it on this occasion. So yeah, now we're back to the hero's turn after pulling yet another X counter. Max gets nothing though. Max is clearly swinging in the dark, not knowing what he's doing. So Shrek's now, let's see if Shrek can help finish off these orcs. So he moves into contact, and let's see what he can do. So he gets 1 hit. Surely the orc won't be able to defend this. Oh no, he does. There we go. So it's Daith's turn. Let's see if Daith can take out his foe. But no, he rolls no skulls. So it's up to Randolph. Randolph the Destroyer. So he rolls a skull. And can the orc defend? Yes, he can. They're not going to give up Sir Ragnar that easy. So now it's the orc's turn on Max. No, the orc has decided to give Daith a go. So the orc gets 2 skulls. See if Daith can defend. No. So that's 2 more points down for Daith. Oh, we're running a bit hot here. No healing. Most of our heroes are down a bit. This is definitely the Advanced Heroquest version where things are tricky. So this orc now is going to have a pop at Randolph, and he gets 2 hits. Let's see if Randolph, who gets 3 dice, can defend. And no defense. So Randolph is quickly turning into a bearskin rug. So yeah, these two are being stubborn. Yeah, it's tricky. So I'm going to pull a tile. That's my second monster one. Okay, so one more, and I get some wandering monsters added to the mix. So I'm going to now have Max do his attack. So he doesn't hit. Max has just lost it. He is too busy. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's got a feather duster instead of a sword. So Shrek, surely 2 hits. Come on. 1 defense, not good enough. That orc goes down. So we're now just left with a 1 orc left. Let's see what happens. Daith gets 2 hits. He hasn't got a feather duster. He's got his nice sharp sword, and he manages to take down that last orc. Hurrah! We've cleared the quest room, and we've got Sir Ragnar dripping with blood and sweat, ready to make a dash for the main door. So I'm just going to sort out treasure and loot first, and yeah, see what we get. Now I'm going to pull an artifact card, because I don't, again, a lot of the loot doesn't translate from Advanced Heroquest. So I'm just going to pull an artifact because it's the quest room, and I get a bone wand, which will be really, really helpful if there was some skeletons. But there aren't. Well, there are. Well, no, there's corpses, but they're not reanimated or skeletons, so I'll have to keep that for another day. So 3 useful items I've picked up, but not really for this particular quest. So anyway, I've done the maths, and 295. I'm not the greatest of rolls, but yeah, the money keeps rolling in. So when Sir Ragnar is found, there is an alarm sound. Now, obviously in HeroQuest there will be predetermined monsters, but what I tend to do is look to see which doors are unopened, and then open them up and then roll on the wandering monster chart. It does make it a bit random. But I'm hoping that I'm close enough that I can, you know, that the doors are out of the way. I'm hoping that there's not too many enemies, and I'm hoping that they are slow as anything. So I roll a 7, the first one, which is 6 orcs, not ideal. And then I roll an 8, which is 3 orc champions. So I'm going to set those up. And yeah, so the doors are open. They don't get to move this turn, but we are in combat, which does mean that the heroes have to roll, but they only have to get around the corner and get out, and the orcs have got a way to travel through the maze. So hopefully we can get out before they come strolling in. Anyway, Max rolls, and he rolls big. That's good. An 11. That's a nice start. Max he's out of there. He's realised that he's squishy, and he's gonna, yeah, he's gonna not completely flee and leave his mates, but he's made a good start. Shrek's not so quick. Daith, again, he's an elf, so fleet of foot. Let's see if Randolph, the bear, lumbers slowly. Well, he's a rear guard. There we go. Now, Sir Ragnar only rolls 1 red dice, and a 2 is not a great start. Come on, Sir Ragnar. Don't you want saving? Yes, not impressive. So the monsters get to go, the priority list is set. Yeah, they get to move across now. The orcs go first and the orc champions will go second. So the orcs will move 8. And you suddenly realise then that there's not that many squares between everyone. So they're all going to come piling out, having heard the alarm of Sir Ragnar's escape. And the champions are going to follow suit. So it clearly wasn't where the goblin kept his chocolates, but more where they kept some big bruises. So the heroes need to get a chop on. They don't suddenly seem so far away now. So I pull another tile and it's another X. So I'm a bit worried about that wandering monster, but let's hope the heroes aren't here to have to worry about it. So Max is now going to go slow, and he's actually decided to be brave. I think he's realised that he's not going to outrun them all. There's no points in this game for leaving without Sir Ragnar. You may leave with your life, but not your dignity. Shrek rolls a 6, so again he's going to stand in the doorway and just sort of look threatening. Randolph speeds up slightly. So yeah, I'm just going to pack full in the hope that Sir Ragnar gets his Nike Air on and decides to have a jog. But he is slow. There is no doubt about it. And now it's the orcs' turn. So the orcs are definitely piling in. We need to not be in that doorway in the next turn. I won't really move the champions because, apart from this one, because he can sort of push his way through and be right at the front. Or 2 of them, well, 3 of them actually. Get out of our way. I mean, they're the tough boys, so that's what's happening. So yeah, next turn is going to get ugly. So pull a tile. Another X, thankfully. Phew. Yeah. So, what's going to happen? Sir Ragnar can't move yet. Now Max has rolled a 2, so he literally can only sort of peer from the back and say, "I'm here to help." Shrek, however, can certainly have a go. One of the orcs. Just checking to see if I can use either of my cards, but again, they're not really. I can use the frenzy, but I need some more orcs around me to do that. So I'll just do a regular attack. Don't roll great. Champions defend with 3. And he defends the 1 hit. Shrek's going to move out the way to give the others a chance. So that's Dave's turn. He's just going to move into the gap. But he's not doing that well. I've looked at the disappear, and I'll be honest, it may have helped here, but it doesn't. It's great for Dave. He could dodge everything, but it's not really going to help in this situation, the wider group. So him being a sort of very noble sort, he's going to stick around and just try his best to help out. And he gets a good hit in. The champions defend 3 and they don't, so that's 1 champion down. Well done, Dave. Thanks for not disappearing. Now Randolph used all of his skills and spells, so we've just got beast mode Randolph and he can't really do anything with the doorway. Sir Ragnar continues to plod. That is the only thing I can say. Now the orcs. So the orcs go first. So one's in the doorway. God, it gets a big hit. I'll defend one. But unfortunately, it's not enough. And Dave, being so brave when he could have disappeared, goes to wherever elves go when they die. This really is not looking good now. The orcs come piling through. Max is going to try and defend against the one hit. Rolls 3 dice and doesn't. So that's another hit that goes through. Again, I've got these 3 cards and I probably could have used them, but I just don't know how I could have done yet. Yeah, it's I'm possibly not utilising the knight as I should have, but he just doesn't feel as tough or as sort of strong as one might think. Anyway, this orc gets a hit. No defence. So that's Shrek's taken another hit. The orcs can keep moving. I mean, on this occasion I am piling them in, they're not defending anything, they're just literally going to try and stop these heroes from getting away. Oh, I've just pulled the 3rd Wandering Monster tile. So, I have to roll a Wandering Monster. And I roll a 5. I've actually done it on the wrong chart. I've done the layers matrix. Now, have I hindered myself? I can't remember. I'll have to check the Wandering Monsters chart. Had I done it on the Wandering Monsters chart, I would have had 2 orcs and 2 goblins. Only in playing and watching this back have I realised that I made a grievous error. I could have perhaps had a few little greenskins chasing after me. However, on this occasion I didn't. And I haven't defended. Yeah. Or rather, that attack didn't go through. So, anyway, Shrek is currently attacking and he manages to take another orc out. I think Shrek has got the highest kill count, but as a berserker one would assume that he would do alright. So Daith is dead, so it goes straight to Randolph. Randolph is still in beast mode. Rolls 2, gets 1. Let's see if the orc can defend. And he doesn't, so that's another orc down. So it's quite strange. You feel like you're getting through, but there are a lot of enemies on this board right now. Right, it's time for Sir Ragnar to make his dash. We need a 6, a 6, a 4. 1, 2, 3. He can't get past. He's certainly not going to that doorway, and I don't really want him exposed. So yeah, I've moved him. Only 3 in the end. Anyway, next orc comes in, takes a swipe at Shrek. 2 hits. Come on, Shrek. And 1 defense, so he loses 1 more body point. He is down to 1. What's gonna happen? to my heroes. Anyway, next orc comes through. Now, he could attack Randolph, that possibly, but he's only on 2 health. So he's going to attack, but thankfully it doesn't matter because he gets nothing. Phew. We might get to one more round before I feel things are going to go south. Anyway, these orcs that shouldn't even be there, well, the orcs can, but not the champion, they will move up. And the champion's leading the way. So, got no new monster, but that resets the monster tiles, so no wandering monster, thankfully. I don't think we need any more. I think I'm running out of miniatures on the board. My knight, what can I do? I've looked at the wandering monster. I don't know how I'm going to use that skill in my version, seeing that I don't have wandering monsters singular. I have packs of them, so we'll have to work out. Stalwart I'm going to use if I get that low, so that should keep me alive for a bit longer. And the shield blocker, I'm not really sure. Anyway, I roll an attack, but he defends the attack, so Max doesn't get the much needed kill. We're back now to Shrek's turn. Shrek's going to go and attack, and he does good. No defense dice because orcs only defend with 2, so yeah, 3 hits. That's what we should have been rolling the whole time through. Anyway, Shrek's going to move 1 in to block that doorway, make sure no one gets to Sir Ragnar. So it's back to Randolph, who rolls a 2. The orc in defense rolls 1, so loses 1, so that orc goes down. So I think that's 3 for Randolph. I think he's done alright. Not bad for a druid. That shapeshift does make a difference. And he can move. Maybe he's got hooves. Half bear, half druid. Well, quarter bear, quarter druid, quarter goat. Anyway, Sir Ragnar finally rolls decently and he's on his move. I think my strategy here is to get Randolph and Sir Ragnar out and see if the others can just survive long enough. So the orc anyway is going to attack Shrek. But thankfully does nothing. This next orc is going to move into the death zone of everyone, and he hits big. Now this is against Max. And Max defends 2, but 1 goes through. Takes him down to 1. This is seed for your pants stuff. Few healing potions and this would be, I'd be in the bag, but I've now got this other group of orcs catching up on the opposite side, and he hits big again. 2 hits. Can I roll some more? I roll 1, but I lose the other one. Now I'm going to use my stalwart card here, so this basically means I ignore that attack. It's just the 1 anyway. Had 2 gone through, I would have not been able to, but I can, so it's like a last line of defense. However, we have more orcs. Now, I've got to be fair and say that some would go for Sir Ragnar. Now, Sir Ragnar does have some stats. He can't attack, but he can defend for 2 and he has 2 body points. So that orc attack gets 2, so Sir Ragnar has to do some defending. And he gets 1, so he's knocked down to 1 body point. Come on, Sir Ragnar, only 1 more good roll of the dice and you're nearly out. Now I decide that this guy will go to Sir Ragnar. Again, I've got to try and be equal-handed rather than just head to my heroes. Sir Ragnar, however, he's able to defend him off. He's the King's Knight for a reason, you know. Anyway, this orc can't get through, so he just decides to head towards Max, and this one can't, so he heads for Max as well. So this is an orc champion. An orc champion who should never have spawned because he was on the wrong matrix. An orc champion who's just rolled 3 skulls. An orc champion that's just killed my knight, Max. Now, Max survived probably longer than his rolls just that's devastating. To lose an elf may be seen as unfortunate. To lose an elf and a knight, one needs to start rethinking their life, I think. Anyway, I get another X tile. I don't know what the best solution is here. Gandalf showing up in a fortuitous moment, a teleport device, some magic, a power cut so I could suddenly just say, well, got as far as I could, but no, we're going out in style. So Shrek is going to use his frenzy card. He's got low health, which basically, and he can use his attack, which basically means he sort of swings his sword around the room, and rolls 3 shields. What could have been a beautiful moment of swinging his axe wildly around is diminished to not much. Anyway, Randolph has read the room, and without Gandalf showing up, Randolph is off. He's out of there. He's done his bit for the realm, and he's put self-preservation ahead of himself. So Ragnar is following. He clearly didn't get to know Shrek, and clearly has no compunctions to try and get to know Shrek. So he's following Randolph, but the orcs are in hot pursuit. And that's 1 hit. Can Sir Ragnar defend? No. So, the Rescue of Sir Ragnar quest has officially failed. Sir Ragnar, you will be remembered and avenged one day. Shrek is surrounded. He's utilising nearly everything. He has 1 health point. He has an enrage he can't use because he can't lose 2 health points. He is perhaps buggered. Pile of orcs and Randolph, who has ran out of the dungeon. Is he the hero? Is he the villain? We will never know. But he will live on to tell this tale, or something close to it. What a game. What a game. And it's only the first one, proper quest, in the HeroQuest quest book. I'd like to thank you for listening and watching. I hope you found it interesting. I hope it's demonstrated the system I've sort of pushed together with Advanced HeroQuest and HeroQuest. It is still very much a work in progress. There will always be things that I haven't really sussed out, but it's a lot of fun. It gets me playing the game, and yeah, it just means that I can take those old quests from the book, and then by myself, rather than using the HeroQuest app, I can use this system and generate those kind of interesting and unpredictable stories. It's a brutal game. It may not be quite ramped up. Perhaps I need to get a few starting items for the heroes, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I hope you've found it interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching again, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Alright, take care everyone. Bye.